What's going on, guys? This is the Edge DFS. Thanks for joining us. We're talking Sunday night football here, Browns and Steelers. Sorry, this is our sixth live show of the weekend. I'm a little confused. Where am I? What game is this? Browns versus Steelers. My name is Tyson Smith. I'm joined by Elliot Hernandez. We've got a game going on currently. Still in the third quarter. This is a little bit of a slower game. I wonder when this is going to finish. It's going to be tight up to the next lock here, I think. But how are you doing, man? How are your lineups for this Saints game?
If you finished with us on the last episode, your last show, whatever the fuck you call it, right? I think one of the things that we were kind of concerned about was why Deontay Harris wasn't getting any ownership. Yeah. But to be completely honest with you, I don't give a fuck. He's doing exactly what I expected him to do. Now, keep in mind, this game can still go literally any direction right now. Yeah. So I'm not going to get too ahead of myself here, but I definitely
on the board here, like
insane. Yeah, like it's interesting. I mean, for the most part, we got a lot of this game right, and I just, not to be a dick, dude, but David Montgomery was not the man.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, look, we Latavius Murray with the touchdown. Michael Thomas going off, so that's not working out well for me. I made a conscious decision to be under on Thomas and over on Kamara. That was it's not working out for me yet, but Deontay Harris going off is really helping me out. Unfortunately, Anthony Miller gets ejected in the third quarter, which is brutal because I think I've got about 60% of him. So we'll see how this goes. Maybe we can overcome it. What was his ownership? Anthony Miller's ownership. He was relatively owned, right?
I mean, honestly, I don't remember. I'd have to pull it up here. Give me a second and I'll do it. But, yeah, man, I mean, that's about where I'm at. I lost about how if you guys said fade Michael Thomas. No, we didn't fade Michael Thomas. Well, Tyson faded Michael Thomas. I'm doing fine.
Michael Thomas. Yeah. I'm not doing well. I chose to go with more Kamara. We'll see what happens. Fair enough, Chris. Fair enough. The game's not over yet, but we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm not claiming to be a fucking expert here when it comes to Michael Thomas in this particular case. All right, I chose Kamara.
Yeah.
And look, I'm gonna lose. That's the bottom line. I'm playing these lineups. I'm not just saying, hey, you guys do this and see how it goes.
Yeah, and anyway. For sure, right? And so look, I got a couple lineups with. We talked about not playing Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas together. So I got a couple lineups with Deontay Smith, Drew Brees, and Michael Thomas. So those ones are holding pretty strong. Again, it's still going to be interesting because we need to get some offensive production from the Chicago Bears for this to kind of work out. So
yeah, that's what's killing me right now. That's what's killing me.
Either way, I mean, look, that's what happens when you're playing GPP, right? You try and make some game script guesses and you look to win that route. If you want to go with the predictable stuff, that's absolutely fine too. But that's when you want to start playing cash. So my cash games, they're going to absolutely end up covering my entries for my GPP if it doesn't work out for me. But the other part of that is Deontay. What the fuck is his name?
Deontay Harris.
Yeah, Deontay Harris. I mean, he's 4% owned and he's in the optimal lineup. So I don't really need 100% of my other pieces to go off if he continues to be in the optimal because his low ownership is keeping me somewhat in the money. So, again, it's all part of the game, and you lose some when you're playing GPP. But if you play cash, then you have an opportunity to play those chalky lineups that are high probability to be in the optimal. So you do that to hedge.
All I gotta say about the Bears is,
we just the Bears are what we thought they were. What we thought they were.
Yep. But anyways, man,
Chris, yeah, appreciate it, man. We'll let's just hope things turn around. Let's hope we get a Kamara touchdown here. You know what I mean? Anyways,
I do want to say one more thing, right? We said it on the last show. We're not playing GPP to fucking win cash or to tie with 45 other people at 96th place, right? I mean, if you're playing GPP, you're probably playing so that you can hit that 50K grand prize. So, I've learned by playing NBA cash that it's easier to build for cash lineups, get those optimal lineups in, and then pivot off of them for the GPP, so you can try and get that leverage off ownership. And exactly. That's really what we're trying to do here. So it's not gonna work most of the time on GPP, but if you're playing cash, guys, we can help you.
Have you noticed
that was badass, Bookie?
Have you noticed any inactives here? F-bomb. Have you noticed have you noticed the inactives? I saw that Peoples Jones is active. Have you noticed anything else coming out here recently with the news?
I haven't had any breaking news yet, so I think we're gonna have to just play it by ear. I think everything's gonna be pretty tight when it comes to we got the stars active, and I think people are gonna start playing that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's move on. Let's actually start talking about this. Roy Jones last night killed me. Roy Jones?
They have boxing now?
Ronald Jones. There.
Oh, yeah. Rojo, bro.
Yes.
Hey, you and us too.
We had our therapy session this morning with him. And
after lock, I'll spend another 5 minutes. we'll have some more therapy.
We'll talk about it some more. Yeah, exactly. Therapy for everyone. Yeah, exactly. Chaz, what's up? Yep.
All right, let's get into this, man.
Let's get into this. This game has just gotten into the fourth quarter. That's interesting. Really slow. All right, so Cleveland versus Pittsburgh here. Division rivals. This is going to be a good game. I'm really excited about this game. I'm excited about Cleveland. I didn't think I'd ever say that sentence. Cleveland Browns look to be pretty good here. For whatever reason, Pittsburgh's getting, minus 260 odds, 72% win probability. They're minus 5.5 favorites at home, 48 total, relatively lower total. Not the lowest we've seen, but not also, not in the 54s or 53s like we've seen throughout this weekend. So, Ellie, does this seem a little bit of a bigger gap than we should be expecting? Like me personally, I think the Browns can win this straight up. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Browns can win this straight up, and I don't want to get too crazy here, but I just Juju went a week. Yeah, let's get it, Chris. Juju went a week without talking shit, and they win a game, and what does he do? He jumps right into talking shit. Look, man, you don't need to give teams that literally have nothing to lose. If the Browns lose this game, they're just the same old fucking Browns, right? But if they beat the Steelers, they beat the Steelers. So this is kind of bulletin board material for them. They don't have much to lose, and you're sitting here running your mouth. So I love Juju. I love him at that price, but I think honestly, I that kind of made me personally lean a little bit more towards Cleveland on this. So just to our viewers, I do want to say that I may have a little bit of slight bias because of that, but I really think Cleveland does have a chance to win this game. I actually did put money on the money line right now just so that I can support what I'm saying.
What's the odd? What are the odds on the money line now? Are they a little bit high, a little 220? Is that what you said it was?
I think it was plus 225. Let me see.
Got it. Bookie. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Look, the thing that scares me about the Steelers is they could win by 40 or they could lose by 40. I have no clue. So to me, by them being favored as much as they are here, I'm more likely to lean towards Cleveland. This is a division rivalry game. Anything can happen. Chaz, as a Browns fan, I can tell you if you're playing Cody Park, you just donate the money to your favorite charity.
Chaz, that is one thing we will immediately agree with you on. We fucking hate that guy.
Yes, exactly. Chris is saying the Steelers win this game by a touchdown. Yeah, I can see it. Like I could see it both ways. And that's why this is such a tough slate. We've done, how many of these shows have we done with Pittsburgh? Like at least 6 or 7, right? I mean, we've done tons of these showdown shows with Pittsburgh. And every single time, it's the same questions. Which receiver is going to go off? Which receiver is going to suck? I think that's going to be our biggest choice to make today is we technically we could play all the receivers on the team. I'm not going to, but I think we're going to have to fade one guy here. We all know the Steelers are going to pass like crazy. We all know that Ben Roethlisberger can throw the ball upwards of 50 times. We've seen it happen many a times. Even if they're winning by 2-3 touchdowns, there's a circumstance where Pittsburgh's throwing the ball in the fourth quarter. I don't know why, and that's another thing we'll talk about with James Conner and his pricing here. It's tempting. DraftKings has done a really good job with pricing him down. I think he's 7,800, something like that. We'll get into him in a minute. But the fact that he's at that price makes me want to play him. But I know that he's most likely not going to get the opportunity. If we think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to lead by 2 touchdowns potentially, I'm not comfortable playing him. That's not going to be the reason why I play him. Is what I'm saying here. So Ellie, what are your thoughts on this game overall? Like how do we prioritize the receivers here? Do we have to choose 2? Do we have to choose 1? How do we deal with this?
No, I think you can choose 1. I'm probably going to choose 1. No spoilers, but when we get to the wide receiver section, you're going to hear Deontay Johnson from me. I get that these other guys are priced nicely and they have very much a very high ceiling, but Deontay Johnson's just he gets Cole Beasley targets, but is a real receiver. So
yeah,
I like him. I think he's pretty solid.
Yeah, lost a lot of moolah because I didn't have James Washington, have him in some lineups, real talk. Yeah, look, James Washington, we'll get to him too. It's really interesting. He's priced way down because he just hasn't been doing well lately. So he's another good pivot. There's 4 guys that I would want to rotate in from the Steelers, potentially getting 2 or 3 of them in your lineups here. In Slate, I faded Kamara and Henry and played Connor and Lat. Well, Lat's working out. Let's hope Connor works out for you.
Yeah, bro, take it down. You got this shit. That was a great play because what was he coming in on the main slate, like 70%? Either guy. I mean, Derrick Henry should have been close to 60, 65 or higher.
All right, let's go to look at injuries here. So we've gotten the inactives out. Ellie, if you're able to pull up Twitter and see if there's an official tweet or anybody in chat, if you guys see the inactives, I got a notification saying that Donovan Peoples-Jones is active. He was questionable. And Kadero Hodge is out. The one thing to consider here is Chris Boswell looks like he's going to be activated off of the COVID list. So do not play, what is it, Wright? The kicker, the other kicker. Let me see.
Oh, yeah.
It's Wright. Yeah, don't take Matthew Wright out of all your lineups. He was being projected from Osmo earlier, and they adjusted that. So just keep an eye on that. Let's see, Chris. We got that one already. Deontay drop balls, and this is another thing that I wanted to point out. I actually, when I was going through my fade of the night, I was debating on Deontay Johnson, but it's just so risky because he can go off, and it's really scary to me. So we'll get to that in a minute, but I think that you're gonna have to choose between one of these wide receivers to go way under on. So with Donovan Peoples-Jones in, Ellie, what does this mean for you? Does this matter to you? Are you going to be getting to him at all?
No, I don't give a shit. Look, dude, this is Jarvis Landry's first playoff game is today. I think I'm not a huge narrative guy, but it's playoff time, right? You got to think about these people understanding this is the last game of the season for them if they don't come out and ball out. I think Jarvis Landry's that guy. He can bring the energy, and Donovan Peoples-Jones that probably is just going to take ownership away from him. And we're talking maybe a handful of a percent, right? Or so it's not crazy, but I don't give a shit.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into this breakdown here. We're going to look at our Captain Crunch slide.
This has been the most sloppy goal line offense that I've seen in a very long time. You're on the 2-yard line and can't get in. Sorry, this is some gimmicky shit. I think
bullshit. We're all sort of everyone. This is why it's nice to go live. We're all sort of one eye on the future, one eye on the past here or the current. Look at that. I don't know what's going on in this game. What a boring ass game. So take a look at this, Ellie. This is our Captain Crunch segment here. This is a graphic that we do for every showdown. Basically, I'm crunching out about 250 lines per captain. And we're sorting by the highest projected, the lowest projected, the ceiling, et cetera, et cetera. We're also calculating what the highest amount of dupes are. So look, Ben Roethlisberger grades out as the optimal captain in most cases. I think for cash, you got to consider going there. He's also one of the highest duped. Now you're looking at around 20 dupes in the biggest contest, and that's okay. like I don't want to get up that high. Usually I try to find lineups that are under 10 dupes or around 10 dupes, because look, at a certain point, if you're 0 duped, it's probably a little bit too crazy of a lineup. I don't want to lose all my money. I'm okay with tying with a handful of other people. But Ellie, what jumps out to you here? If you look at Kareem Hunt, he doesn't grade out well. He's low as hell owned, and his dupes are super low potentially, but he doesn't grade out well. Like what jumps out to you here? Nick Chubb is not grading out well either. Is that just a matchup thing with the rushing offense, the way they're projected? Like what jumps out to you
here? Well, I think the biggest thing that this points to is just obviously the projections are based on what the Vegas line is currently, right? Yeah. Everything's leaning a little bit more towards Ben Roethlisberger, or I'm sorry, towards the Steelers. So you're gonna expect Nick Chubb to have a lower projection. Jarvis Landry might be a little bit more middling, right? The running backs aren't really going to be involved, and that's going to impact kind of the projections that we're getting from the Cleveland side of the ball. Now Deontay Johnson does look pretty interesting to me though, in the captain spot. And yeah, Chris, he's going to probably drop 2 or 3 passes, but for whatever reason, he's still going to get 72 targets, and he absolutely can make the most of those targets. So it is something that I am going to be looking at. And that's kind of what I like in a captain when I'm playing GPPs, right? Is I want that, you're going to get somebody who's probably going to fail a decent amount of the time, but if he hits that ceiling performance, this guy has a massive ceiling, right? So yeah. I think he's a very interesting captain play at 11% captain, and then just kind of given some of those other numbers around there as well. And then from there, I mean, I'm not too surprised at some of this. Again, everything, it just seems kind of spread out, but it does look like we don't have to get too crazy to get different at the captain spot, because the projections are pretty tight when it comes to the top projected lineups, right? We don't have much variance, so we can just do what we need to.
It's interesting here.
Oh yeah, James Washington, dude, I'm all for it. But yeah, no, I get you.
It's interesting here. Typically, I have like 5 or 6 dudes, but like I had to go all out with this graphic because there are just so many options. And typically speaking, with a guy like Ben Roethlisberger, you'd expect to see him at, 25 to 30% owned. Maybe everything would be heavier on the top end. But it seems like everything's pretty much spread out. Yeah, $200 on Harris. Yeah, love that call. I don't quite understand why he's so low owned, to be honest. So look, to me, Juju Smith-Schuster actually sticks out a little bit here at that ownership. You're talking about similar upside, lower ownership than Deontay Johnson. I'm personally more comfortable playing Juju on this particular slate. Deontay, to me, worries me with his drops. We all know, Omar Epps, like the dude does not take this shit. You know what I mean? Mike Tomlin is not into his guys dropping the ball. And we have to deal with drops across the board from the wide receivers. But to me, Deontay Johnson has legit actually been like pretty much benched in the middle of a game. And now I'm not saying that's going to happen again, but like I got to take that into effect here. I got to think about that if I'm going to go heavy on one of these guys, I don't want to have the dude be benched in the middle of the game. So that's just
all I can think of is Donald Faison in Remember the Titans, right? This is the playoffs. This is your chance. I'm going to play these guys, right? You can go out, you can fuck up, but this is it. This is the last time you get to play. So believe in your guy. Like you've been talking. He's been benched, right? But believe in your guy. He's clearly the best wide receiver you have. So I really just, I think Deontay Johnson's going to overcome that tonight.
All right. So how would you get down to Kareem Hunt or Connor here on the lower end?
Not Connor, but Kareem Hunt's interesting.
All right. So let's move on to our actual breakdown. We're going to go position by position. We're going to try to finish up a little early so we can build lineups together and get in any questions before lock. Let me switch my screen share here. I think Kamara scored too, by the way. All right. So Ben Roethlisberger is at 10.4K. That's kind of interesting pricing for him. Usually we're used to seeing him a little bit higher. Let's see, Brandon, would you play Juju with all the shit he's been going on with him? I think he's a target. I personally, I honestly don't care about that. I think it's actually probably maybe better for him. I don't know. I'm not even thinking narrative wise. I'm just focusing on him as a player. Ellie, what about you? Are you curious about that?
Yeah, I entirely disagree with you on this one, man. And this will probably cost me money. I know I'm being a little bit biased here, but yeah, I think Cleveland is a very proud team. They have a chip on their shoulder. They always play it that way. I think if they lose this game, they are going to make sure that it's not because of him. Just simply not because of Juju.
I feel you. Ben Roethlisberger at 10.4K. Pretty good pricing on him. Baker Mayfield at 9,600. What are your thoughts on his pricing here? And the question we always ask is, do you have to get both of these guys in all your lineups here?
Yeah, I think so. Ben Roethlisberger is a little expensive at 10.4, but he's going to throw the ball 76 times. I think he does have a route to get there. Harrison Bryant at 800. Yeah, absolutely. At 800, I don't know if it's even really that risky. I mean, I can still see him getting 4.5 to 7 points. That seems kind of reasonable for an $800 guy. Excuse me. But Baker Mayfield, look, there's no way the Browns are in this game if he's not performing well, unless we think Nick Chubb's going to rush for 180 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I like Baker Mayfield tonight. I'm going to have a lot of Baker Mayfield, and I mean, that's just because I think this game can be a little bit more competitive. This is a divisional game too. This isn't just a play, just a wild card game.
Look at the Seahawks and Rams game. I mean, I know it's a bad example. The Seahawks haven't been playing great, but that's a division rivalry. Anything can happen. Throw the numbers out. It's all fair game. If you look at Baker here, I mean, he does have some downside, right? Mm-hmm. You see a couple 8-point games, a couple 5-point games, a couple 7-point games. There's a chance that he can absolutely bust. And I'm more likely to be a little bit right around the field, a little bit above the field at his ownership. Typically, I'm okay with just jamming both of the quarterbacks in if I feel comfortable with them. I think he can have a pretty high upside game. If he gets you 20 fantasy points, he's most likely going to be in the optimal lineup. I'm pretty damn sure that he will be. So is there any way to avoid him? Like, are you being too different by trying to avoid Baker Mayfield? Is it just stupid to do that?
I don't know if it's stupid. I definitely think there is a world where the Pittsburgh defense shows up and dominates this game, but I don't know if it's going to be tonight. Baker is just I think he's just a good play. It's
Andrew, I agree with you, man. I might get some of him at captain. Like I actually really like him at captain, to be honest, because he is cheap. You can fit all the rest of those guys in.
And look, what is Baker? Like, the Browns are one of the I think they're one of like the best DFS teams to talk about, just because they're going to go out and score fucking 3 points some games, and then they're going to go out and score 47 points. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So who knows what we're going to get from this team, but we know that they do have the offensive output to do it. And Baker Mayfield can get it done on the ground too. He can have a rushing touchdown or two. So I definitely think he's in play. And again, like, he tends to run his mouth a little bit. So this is your first playoff game, bro. If you can't fucking back it up, like, the world's watching you tonight. So yeah. I think he's going to show out. He's got a history of performing well in these kinds of situations, at least in college. So I think Baker is going to be in all my lineups.
And remember, if he gets an extra 40 yards on the ground rushing, that's the equivalent of throwing an extra touchdown pass. So I know his touchdown pass numbers aren't great. He's got a couple of games with 1 or 2. But look, if he gets a rushing touchdown and he gets you 44 yards, that's a huge boost, because we know Ben Roethlisberger most likely isn't going to give you that upside when it comes to rushing. The dude can barely walk as it is. All right, so let's move over to running backs here. So let's go with Cleveland side of things. Nick Chubb at 10.2K, and you got Kareem Hunt at 6,400. Now look, Kareem Hunt at 6,400 is super enticing to me. If you look at his recent output, nothing to write home about. He does have a 29-point game. Actually, that was the game that I was heavy on him in captain. And since then, I've also sprinkled him in throughout at captain in some of these other showdown slates. But there's a lot of red here, man. Like, this worries me. And you're talking about a guy who, he's not the workhorse back that Nick Chubb is. He still gets the opportunity. So if we're building lineups where the Steelers are ahead, can we prioritize Kareem Hunt? Can we get both of these guys in the same lineup together? Because I personally, you know how I like that. I like to do that kind of shit.
Yeah, I think you can. I'm going to sound like a broken record. You may as well just fucking play this shit back. But look, if you want to beat a team that passes the ball 47 plus times a game, you run the ball effectively. And what do the Browns have? They have 2 number 1 running backs.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that there is a world where you can play both of them. I think you can play either of them. They're both fine plays to me. I am going to be prioritizing Baker and Jarvis Landry stacks and maybe a little bit of the tight end action, but I think Kareem Hunt can even be sprinkled into the pass game a little bit. I mean, excluding last week with the 1 target, you got 5 targets, 3 targets, 7 targets, right? So he's getting involved in that as well. So it's going to be interesting.
Look, if you just look at Kareem Hunt last week, his snap count, he was at 60% of the snaps. Nick Chubb was at 46%. The week before, it kind of flopped. And then the week before that, Nick Chubb was getting 56 to Kareem Hunt's 35. So it maybe is a game flow thing. I don't know how they're prioritizing each other's snaps. One thing I do know is Kareem Hunt, 20 routes run last week, 25 routes run the week before. So even though he's not getting those targets, he's getting opportunity. And to me, in Showdown, opportunity is a pretty important thing to consider. So Andrew here, with Baker a captain, it lets you hit that double quarterback stack, or it might just jam all 3 wide receivers in. Not sure. Yeah, exactly. It's true. It's true. And you could do, look.
We're going to build with him at captain.
Yeah, we're going to build with him at captain. You could do a 2-4 too. So you can put him at captain, Kareem Hunt in the flex, and then go 4 Steelers on the other side. We've seen 2-4s take it down on multiple occasions. So Ellie, for whatever reason, Nick Chubb just isn't grading out well. Why is that? Is that because the Vegas lines are being taken into account when we're doing projections here, and he's possibly going to be playing from behind? Maybe he has less rushing attempts. Why is he not grading out well when I crunch out all these lineups? Is it because of his price? Is he too expensive?
It's his price, and it's the fact that Vegas is projecting this to lean heavily in the Pittsburgh Steelers' favor, right? I think that's really going to impact the overall projections that we're going to get. But I mean, look, 19.8, 17.6, 14.6. Those are pretty solid outputs. I know at that price tag you want more than 14 points, probably more than 17 or a little more than 19, but I don't think he's a bad play. We've seen Nick Chubb break 80-yard runs, right? And he has the ability to do that on a small number of attempts. So, I mean, 14 attempts for 108 yards. He did it last week. He had a touchdown, right? So, I like the run game here. I think you can go that route too. This is a game, though, I think you need to build. Each lineup needs to have a specific game script built around it, right? Yeah. So, if you're going to stack, you can do Baker, Kareem Hunt, and Nick Chubb, and then kind of capture the passing offense that way. If that's the kind of game that you're building for. So, I think we'll get into that a little bit more when we start the builds, but I think Nick Chubb is a great play here. What's his projection? 35% ownership. I mean, that just seems a little bit low for a guy with his high upside.
Yeah, and Kareem Hunt, if he really is coming in at under 30%, I really like him just because we know about his upside. And if the game script works out the way we think it might, it's possible Cleveland's playing from behind, and they're not going to be feeding Nick Chubb as much. So let's move to the other side. This is really gross. I don't like talking about this, but this is the Pittsburgh Steelers running game. James Conner at 7,800. Now, look, that's pretty enticing to me. I know that he was actually 7,200. He was 7,400. He seems to be fully healthy. What are your thoughts on Conner? Do we have to just avoid him like the plague just in case? Does he have the upside? If anything, do we want to maybe prioritize him at captain as opposed to the flex? Because if he does go off, we can capture all those captain points. Like, what are your thoughts here?
We need to download that image from Return of the Jedi where it's that one fucking red dude just saying it's a trap. That's all it is. That's all I have to say about this. I don't like James Conner tonight. And guys, I will die on this hill. You can yell at me all you want. This team runs like 35% of the time. That's just not enough volume. Straight up not enough volume.
So look, Benny Snell at 1,000. We've seen him bust. We've seen him go off. When he's not expected to do anything, he has a good game. I don't know. Jalen Samuel at 200. Like, would you rather get some of these backup guys as opposed to Connor? Maybe sprinkle them in.
No, I don't care. Look, dude, I want if I'm going to go to anybody cheap on the Steelers, it's probably going to be James Washington.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, let's move over to wide receivers. Speaking of that, Deontay Johnson at 9,800, Juju Smith-Schuster at 8,800, Chase Claypool at 8,600. They're all coming around between 30 to 40% ownership. I think these guys are going to be incredibly popular. And then you got James Washington at $1,400. He's going to come in at less than 10%. Recency bias is probably why his ownership is so low. If you look at this is not pretty. This is scary. But look at his pricing also. He got up to 4,400 and slowly went down by 1,200, then another 1,000, and then now he's down by another 800. So how do we prioritize this? What's the most if you had to choose your least favorite one of these wide receivers, which one is it?
Juju Smith-Schuster.
All right, that's my favorite.
Yeah. And look, dude, again, this is narrative. This is the fucking NFL, bro. You can't just go running your mouth about professional athletes like this. These Browns corners, they're backups, right? For the most part. I believe their star guys were injured for the year. So that's insulting, right? So you're gonna be getting fucking pumped up by some really top talent quarterbacks, right? That are out. So
yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm just not a fan of Juju. I think he's done too much running his mouth. Listen to me. I don't give a shit about that. Like, from an opinion perspective, I don't care. It's a sport. Do whatever the fuck you want, right? If you want to go TikTok on the sideline or on the opposing team's logo, then fucking do it. But just understand that there might be consequences. Yeah. I don't think he's gonna have the same kind of game. I just don't like him as much as I like Deontay Johnson.
So, I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with this output. I'm pretty comfortable with this output. I'm not comfortable with this output. But the issue is Chase Claypool at this point is basically the fourth, potentially the fifth option on this team behind Ebron, and maybe even James Washington one of these games. I would say safely he's 3A or 3B to Ebron's 3A or 3B when it comes to target share. But we know that Chase Claypool has upside. If Claypool is the same ownership as Schuster, you got to go Schuster every time, right? I get the narrative thing, but these are he's a professional athlete too. Don't you think he knows that they're gunning for his ass? He's gonna have extra incentive to go out and prove his shit talking. So to me, if Schuster comes in at the same ownership as Chase Claypool, it's Schuster every day of the fucking week, considering he's only $200 more. We haven't seen Chase Claypool go off in a minute. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you still prefer Claypool over Schuster?
Okay.
Yeah, Andrew, it's true. I mean, for tournaments, yeah, boom or bust, absolutely. I feel safer with Smith because there's a lot of boom there, less bust.
And that's honestly that's where I disagree with you slightly. Look, I think you can almost do like, what is this, a 3A and a 3B type situation. I don't like either of them necessarily in this particular game. I like James Washington and Deontay Johnson. I will have a little bit of both, but I think you're right on. I mean, if you have similar ownership, I think you're fine kind of having even exposure. I mean, they're damn near the same exposure, so they're same projected ownership. So I think you can pretty much just split the field with them. But to Andrew's point, Chase Claypool being more of a boomer bust player, he does become a little more interesting to me because of that. We have seen Juju Smith's ceiling games, but we haven't seen him this year. Now, we've seen him hit like 18 to 20 points, but we also know he's a guy who can get 8 or 9 receptions for 180 yards and 2 or 3 touchdowns, and we just haven't seen that, and I don't think it's happening tonight. Now, Chase Claypool, we've seen that a couple of times this season. So, yeah, we've also seen a fucking 4-point output, but I think that's why he's an interesting play in GPPs. Now, he also is probably more effective at captain, but that's just kind of where I'm at for that.
Yeah, Chaz, Donovan Peoples-Jones, we're going to actually move over to wide receiver here in a minute. Look, I think you have to prioritize getting 2 of these guys in your lineup, right? Or at least 2 pass catchers from this team, minimum. Don't you agree? Look, there's going to be 45 attempts most likely from Ben Roethlisberger. Those attempts, and what is he getting like? Let's look at his completions over the past few weeks. He's getting 34 completions, 20, 21, 33, 36. So you're talking about, maybe 25 completions. Those completions, those receptions, that's 25 points and just in receptions spread out across the board. You're going to have to focus those on at least 2 pass catchers. Now, Deontay Johnson and we've got Eric Ebron. Those are considerations that you have to really think about. Don't go putting Ben Roethlisberger in your lineup and expect him to get you 2 rushing touchdowns. He's going to have to throw the ball to somebody, spread it out across the board. Focus on 2 of these guys, in my opinion. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I absolutely do agree with that.
Let's move over to Cleveland. We've got 40 minutes to lock here, 39 minutes-ish. Jarvis Landry, Rashard Higgins, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Is there anybody else you're considering? Marvin Hall? You giving Marvin Hall any look? Like, what's your player pool looking like for the Browns wide receivers, since you're pretty high on them?
Landry and Higgins, and then I'm just going to shift over to the tight end pool. Donovan Peoples-Jones, I think you can take a couple flyers on just given his ownership, but at 18% for Donovan Peoples-Jones, he's going to get a couple targets, right? He has the opportunity to catch a touchdown. He's had 92, 74-yard games, but look, he did fairly poorly last week without. Like 95% of their offense, right? Was that the game that Landry and all them were fucking out?
I think so.
Yeah.
Higgins in every line, 92%. Yeah, I mean Higgins. We're gonna have to jam in one of these middle of the road guys, depending on your captain. But
look at that shit, dude. Just hover over his ownership right there. I mean, 18%, right? For a team that's a plus 225 underdog, right? You're expecting them to throw. So who's he going to throw to?
Yeah.
It's going to be Rashard Higgins, or it's going to be Jarvis Landry or the tight ends. So I think you're fine playing him at 5K, and I'm pretty sure I have a shitload of them already. So I like Rashard Higgins tonight. But it's just him and Landry. You can take 1 or 2 stabs at Donovan Peoples-Jones, but I just don't think it's necessary tonight.
So Donovan Peoples-Jones being active, that doesn't really bother your Rashard Higgins exposure, right? Like you're not too concerned about him taking away too much from him?
No, not really. I mean, look, Rashard Higgins is a better wide receiver, and I think they're going to try and target him.
I mean, on the season, look, he's trending up. DPJ is, but on the season, DPJ is getting 33% of the snaps. Week 15, he did end up getting 55%, but still, it's Landry and Higgins, and then DPJ gets the rest.
What he got? What?
Week 15.
Yeah, but again, like we should expect a pretty positive uptrend from him, and a pretty significant uptrend. I mean, they lost half their fucking squad last week, and the week before they still had. I think Jarvis Landry was out, so or somebody was out, right? They have injuries over there, and they have COVID going on, so we would expect to see him trend up. But again, at 12.5%, you don't have to do anything crazy. If you like him, play him in a lineup or 2.
I think Drew Brees just got a fucking rushing touchdown. Did I see that correctly? Yep, 1-yard touchdown. Of course. Did you put any money on him for anytime touchdown score?
No.
All right, let's move over to the tight ends for the Browns. We got Austin Hooper at 4,800, Harrison Bryant at 800, David Njoku 1,600. Who's your favorite? Who's your least favorite? Do you care about these guys at all?
I love all these guys. I probably could have phrased that a lot better, but look, I think all of them are in play. 4,800 Austin Hooper is fine. Baker Mayfield seems to be pretty in touch with him. Like they have a
against the Jets.
I mean, I'm kind of worried that only turned into fucking 7 receptions, but he's gonna get targets. Him and Baker get along. Harrison Bryant, click on him for me.
Yeah, good flyer at $800.
Yeah, I mean,
he has three touchdowns this year, so that's something to really consider with a guy that has the opportunity to score at $800. Just like we saw with Deontay Harris, if you have Deontay Harris in your lineups, you're going to be doing pretty well.
Yeah,
and this is a similar situation.
And that's exactly what it is. I mean, granted, he's not $200.
Yeah,
but in all honesty, guys under 500 rarely rarely make the optimal. Deontay Harris will, and I think this is the second time it's happened all season. It about 500 to a 2,000 mark is where you're looking for those punts, and so I think Harrison Bryant absolutely fits that. And just so y'all don't think I'm talking shit, let me pull up my lineups and I'll tell you how much I have right now. Harrison Bryant, I gotta fucking find him. But yeah, I love him. I love all three of these tight ends. I don't even know if you need to get too crazy, but if you want to, you can even stack two of them. I think there's a world in which they're running a couple of these guys. Again, they're not super deep at the wide receiver position, and these are all very athletic pass catching tight ends. So you could get two tight ends, three tight ends in the field at any given time. I mean, if you're utilizing your personnel correctly, you have two of the best running backs in the league too. I mean, that's pretty hard to cover from a defensive perspective. I have 26% Harrison Bryant right now.
Wow, it's like 4x on the field almost.
Yeah.
So look, if you're heavy on the wide receivers, you're heavy on Landry, Higgins, and these tight ends, you're most likely not going to have a lot of Chubb, right? I mean, are you getting away from Chubb, or are you getting away from Baker? Or are you doing 4-2 stacks with the Browns?
I actually need to look at that because I'm pretty sure this says I have 0 Chubb right now.
Just based on prices, I think I'm going to go Browns tight ends over Pittsburgh running back. Yeah, I think that's a smart idea. It's more of a look. I think. Go ahead, Ellie. You say your point here.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't even look at it like that. If you're unsure about a player who's priced at 6,800 or whatever the fuck he is, and there's a guy you like under 1,000, that's not any risk. If that guy under 1,000 gets a 0, it's not the same as James Conner getting 2 fucking points. Yeah. So you know what I mean? You can recover from that. James Conner, you can't recover from. So, when you're in doubt, I mean, it's not a terrible punt.
So Pittsburgh,
I have no Chubb.
No Chubb. See, you got to make a decision. It's not like you hate Chubb. It's just you like other guys more. So when it comes to our,
all right.
Wow, I'm 2 or 3 of these deep. I didn't mean for that to come out. So Eric Ebron is 5,400. Vance McDonald is 4,000. Vance McDonald, his price has gone way the fuck up. We're talking about a dude who was like $800 earlier in the year when he was coming off of COVID. He was $200 last week. And he had eight fantasy points. So DraftKings is like, nah, I don't want to do that again. They moved him up all the way up to $4,000. Are you touching Vance McDonald?
You're crushing it today, dude.
And are you you're going to prioritize Eric Ebron here, right? I think Eric Ebron is a better option over Chase Claypool, especially considering he's about $3,000 cheaper.
All right, I'm going to keep this under 20 seconds. Eric Ebron is 5,400 and projected for 20% ownership and will probably get 9 to 12 targets. Vance McDonald might get 3, and he's priced damn near the same. I don't give a shit about him. I love Eric Ebron.
So who's your favorite tight end on this slate then?
Eric Ebron.
Copy that. Kickers and defense, we got Chris Boswell coming off the COVID list. He is 3,600. So that's kind of our threshold here. We're seeing like 3,600, 3,800. Once you get above that, I kind of just don't like the kickers because, especially on a slate like this, where there's a lot of salary saving options that are way cheaper. They're going to pop on the optimizers because of their median projection is going to be higher than another dude at the same price point or even at a lower price point. Cody Parkey, you're going to just lock him in a captain, right?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Son of a bitch.
That's my analysis is fuck that guy.
Any interest in these kickers? Do you need to get to these kickers considering the total is a little bit lower, but I think there's going to be plenty of points scored here, don't you think? Like the kickers might get a couple of extra point opportunities, but like we keep saying every show, these teams are going for it on 4th down more than ever in their own territory. They're not settling for 45-yard field goals; they're just going for it. So it's really reducing the opportunity for a lot of these kickers, right?
I actually don't mind Chris Boswell. God damn it, I butchered the fuck out of that. Yeah, Chris Boswell is fine for me. Excuse me. 3,600 if you're doing MME 20 or 150 max, 17% ownership.
Are you dying?
Yeah, I don't, dude. Hiccups. I'm drinking. I'm smoking. It doesn't matter. Look, look, Chris Boswell at 17% ownership. Look, dude, this offense is really fucking inconsistent. If they're unable to establish the run, they are going to stall out when they get into the red zone, right? If you can't run when you're in the red zone, if you can't run, and you're not going to be able to be successful in the red zone. It really is pretty much that simple. The passing windows become so much tighter because you don't have the whole field behind you. So I think that gives you an opportunity to stall out and play Chris Boswell a little bit.
Hopkins captain lineup went off the other night. Yeah, Rojo killed everyone, man. I cashed in like 80% of my lineups with zeros.
Yeah.
Imagine. Brandon Njoku sneaky, absolutely sneaky. All these tight ends are sneaky, minus Vance McDonald, in my opinion.
Well, guys, I mean, look, let's not make a big deal of it. Let's not make it more difficult than it needs to be. If this game is competitive, if the Browns win this game, it's most likely because Baker Mayfield is fucking tearing shit up. They don't have enough wide receivers to. I mean, I don't think DPJ, Landry, and Higgins are all going off for 300 yards. So that means you got 150, 200 yards going to tight ends and running backs. So that's Kareem Hunt, and that's all the fucking tight ends for me. I love it. I'm playing. I'm gonna have Njoku. I'm gonna have Bryant. I'm gonna have all these fucking guys. Hooper too.
All right.
I guess.
So defense. Can we consider defense in this game? Steelers. They can plague the Browns. They can plague Baker Mayfield. They're hovering around 20% ownership. They're at 4,600. Do you like the Steelers defense, and any reason to consider the Browns defense at 2,800?
Yes. Wait, 2,800? Hold it.
Yeah, 2,800 for Browns defense.
Okay, so yeah, I mean that's interesting to me. Look, I definitely think there's a world in which the Pittsburgh offense just fucking sucks dick again. So 2,800, I don't think that's a terrible play in a couple lineups. It probably won, to be completely honest with you, but I think it's viable. But the Steelers defense, yes, I do think they need to be in consideration if you're doing a MME or if you're throwing random bullets. I don't know if they're a captain type defense tonight, but there's a world where they end up with 6-7 sacks. They have a pretty solid defensive line. They have some good defensive backs. But again, we don't know what fucking Steelers we're getting, if it's from the first 75% of the season or the last quarter, right?
By the way, I know I've done this already, but this Bears team.
Oh, we just the Bears are what we thought they were.
God, just get them off my TV.
No, I'm not going to lie to you. I was hoping you would do that because this is I'm going to rant for 8 seconds. This is one of the most pathetic playoff performances I've ever seen. And that's coming from a guy who sat and watched 4 quarters of Ryan Lindley against a sub 500 Carolina Panthers team.
Yeah. Ted Ginn, fucking traitor. What? Fade of the night.
Tony! Fuck you, Tony!
Ellie, James Conner's your choice. Talk to me about it. Or do you even need to reiterate? Just don't play him.
I'm pretty sure I ripped him the whole show. Like I'm pretty sure he's a good guy. So James, if you're watching this,
give him a break.
Have a good night, bro. Like if you're watching this, I'm sorry, dude.
I'm sure he is. Chase Claypool, to me, look, this can go one of two ways. I'm choosing Chase Claypool just because of his target share. His recent output has not been very good, and his price is up there right around Juju. I'd rather go Juju all day. That's just my opinion on it. The reason I'm choosing him is not because I don't think he has upside. It's because I got to choose somebody, and I'd rather choose him over Juju or over Deontay. That's just my only reasoning behind it. Andrew's saying his highest projected lineup for me right now is Juju at captain. When we crunched him out, they were up there. So let's move on to our favorite captain choice here.
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
Ellie, talk to me. Yeah, Eric Ebron for you.
Okay, so just before we get too crazy here, this is like a couple lineups. I'm not mass multi-entering 20 or 150 fucking lineups with Eric Ebron at captain. I just want to be very clear about that. Yeah. This is something that you only need to do a couple lineups with. But I think he's incredibly interesting. His upside and his potential target count make for a very interesting fantasy output. God damn it. That was the worst fucking throw I think I've ever seen Mitch Trubisky throw. But anyways, look, I think at his price, you're going to get a lot of flexibility to jam in some of these other guys, right? And I want to have a couple. If I can have a couple lineups with Chase Claypool or Juju and Deontay Johnson, I think that's something that Eric Ebron will give us the ability to do.
I really want, like, I agree with you here. Kareem Hunt is potentially like less than 5% owned in the captain. I'm not putting him in 90% of my lineups as captain.
Right.
If I go 20% with him, I have a big advantage on the field. I don't need to go too crazy. In the past, look, I have gone crazy with some of these guys that I've been really into. I don't feel very comfortable with Kareem Hunt having a ceiling game, but to me, I feel the most comfortable because of his price, because of his ownership, and the fact that I can get every single guy I want in the flex and not have to worry about any ownership. I can get Big Ben. I can get everybody I want. I can get 2 receivers with him. I can do a 2-4. I can do a Kareem Hunt with Baker Mayfield and then run it back with 4 Steelers, sort of an onslaught there. There's a lot of options for me with Kareem Hunt at captain. I can get whoever the hell I want. That's why I'm interested in this. So look, when or if Kareem Hunt gets 6 fantasy points, yeah, I know that. I know he can do that. So does everyone else. That's why he's 3% owned in the captain. That's why I'm saying he has the upside. Consider it in a couple of lineups, not 99% of your lineups.
How fitting would it be that the only person that gave a shit that they were in a playoff game was fucking Jimmy Graham?
Did he actually catch that?
Yeah, that's a touchdown.
Of course. Who called it earlier with the Jimmy Graham touchdown? One of our guys.
Yeah,
called.
I don't know, man.
He's got one more to go. Oh, the game's over. It doesn't matter. Fuck it.
No, I mean that's still a good fucking call, Jimmy Graham. God damn it!
Yeah.
All right, who you want to build?
Let's go to a lineup build here. Yeah. So let's start with your guy. Let's start with Ebron, and then we'll get to some chalkier builds here with Big Ben and Baker or some of the wide receivers. Hit us up in the chat. Let us know what you guys want to see built.
So if I'm doing this, I'm not going to lie. This is really kind of the core that I'm working with here. Since, I want to throw somebody in. You know what? I'm not ready to go to James Washington quite yet. We got $67.50 per player.
Ebron, yeah, leaves a lot of – I mean, you're going to put Big Ben in, right?
I don't know. I don't know yet. Let's see what happens if I put in Big Ben. What does that give us with 31? Jesus. Actually, that still gives us a lot of salary.
James Washington.
I mean, a DPJ, right? It's interesting. Travis Landry. Let's see what else we can get then. I mean, yeah, you got DPJ, you got David Njoku, you got James Washington. What does that put us at? Do we want to come up off of any one of these guys then? We got 1,700 remaining.
Landry. Look, I'm not as high on Landry as you are. I think he can absolutely go off, but to me, I really want to go heavier on Kareem Hunt, at least to try it out.
Okay, let's see what that gives us then. 5,700.
Oh, I actually did pretty well. I wasn't even watching. I had Allen Robinson in the captain, and I profited. That's interesting.
Bro, first of all, those contested catches that he's making, yeah, I don't understand why they're not throwing it to him more consistently.
Bro, it
doesn't fucking make sense.
Okay, so just a tip for you guys. I know we're getting closer to lock, but look, I did 2, 4, 6. I did 6 5-man contests, and I got first place in every 5-man contest. That saved my ass.
Yeah, guys, that's where you get safe. Like, be safe there. Make your fucking entry fees back. That's what those contests are there for. Yep. And Tyson says avoid the sharks. I'm not even sure about that. They don't give a shit if they're entering fucking $25,000 today. They're not fixing their $5 3-man. So just something to think about. All right, Chris, let's look at this lineup.
Hang on, Ellie. So Chris is asking about we feel like the last slate where we probably need both quarterbacks. Well, looking back, we didn't need both quarterbacks in the last slate. But I feel like in this particular case, just feel it out as a storytelling aspect when it comes to your building your lineups. If you're MMEing, then yeah, I would consider trying to get as much Baker Mayfield and Roethlisberger as you can. I'm not afraid to put in Baker Mayfield into a ton of my lineups. I'm cool with that. But just play it out. If you're doing a rushing heavy Browns leading, you don't need Baker Mayfield, that kind of a thing. Sorry, go ahead, Ellie.
Well, I mean, if we're going to talk about it, Michael Thomas, captain, Kamara, Breeze, Trubisky, Lat, and Harris. That's the optimal. So, I mean,
Oh, Trubisky was in the optimal. I didn't even see
he
it.
was.
All right,
Yeah.
sorry guys. I've been producing a show. I apologize. Look, if that's a perfect example why you should pretty much just consider, unless you hate them, you should consider having both quarterbacks. You know, yeah, it's a 5-1 that won it. Probably, yep, yeah, exactly. All right.
So back to this. We got Eric Keeper on the captain, Deontay Johnson, and then Ben Roethlisberger from the Pittsburgh side, Baker Mayfield, Kareem Hunt, and Rashard Higgins. I don't hate this lineup. I actually pretty sure I answered this lineup.
Yeah, that's a nice lineup. Let's do a chalky one here.
All right, who do we want to captain then?
Yeah, that's why Bookie. That's why garbage time is kind of important for a team that's you think is going to be down.
Who did you have as the highest projected captain? Big Ben?
Big Ben by about 2 points.
Okay, then let's do this real quick.
Let's
Let's see what the optimal is. I don't know why that took so fucking long.
Benny Snell, no. Fuck you. Watch, Benny Snell has 2 touchdowns today.
I mean, honestly, if you're running cash, this is fine. And for me specifically, this would be a fine cash lineup because I have no interest in playing him in any GPP. So, if he is projected at 5 points and is one of the optimal plays, it's not terrible. All right, but let's build from this. What do you want to do?
Andrew, we'll do a Chubb. Andrew, we'll do a Chubb here in a second. Yes.
All right. You want Juju, Baker?
Juju, Deontay, and Baker.
Deontay in here. Let's see what that leaves us with. 3,100. So we need somebody cheap from Cleveland, right? You want Hunt?
Yeah, get Hunt. Can you afford him? No, you can't afford him.
Not quite.
See, this is why it's going to be difficult with Big Ben. You're going to have to punt multiple times. Go James Washington. I mean, can you pull Juju out and go with James Washington instead?
Well, hold on. Let's see what we can get here.
Harrison Bryant?
I mean, that's not terrible.
Baker Bryant, and Higgins, along with Big Ben, Deontay, and Juju. I like that, actually.
Yeah, and look at this. So you can play that with the chalkiest fucking captain. 2% ownership.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, you throw Bryant in there, and you're not competing with a bunch of other people. Let's go to Nick Chubb here, if you're ready for that.
Yes. Actually, can you? Let's do this. So we want to throw Nick Chubb captain.
And Nick Chubb captain. Let's see how that goes. I'm going to enter this into a single. Do I want to do this thing? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this build goes. Gage, you want 8K? Let us know. Let us know what your lineup is, man. A-Town, yeah, man. Look, this is fun for us, man. I love doing this kind of shit. We're drinking beers, we're building lineups, we're hanging out with cool people. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
Bro, we're talking about fucking football. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about sports, and we're having fun doing it. We want to help other people. We don't. I don't have the time or the money to be able to enter enough to cover all variations, but have a couple other people working together. Maybe those 1 in 20 takedowns are going to be between us. All right, so this is the optimal here.
So Chris, sorry, Ellie. Chris wants our favorite cheap play. Do we think it's Harrison Bryant, or are we thinking James Washington, Harrison Bryant potentially?
James Washington,
Njoku.
James Washington, Njoku. Those are kind of the same level. If you're doing deeper field GPPs for like a large entrant contest, then I do like Harrison Bryant because he's projected so low. But again, you should only have a couple of lineups with him because all 3 tight ends are active.
Yeah. A-Town, we're both from Phoenix originally. I live in LA. Ellie lives in Indiana. Where are all you guys from? All right, so Ellie, let's do a who is it lineup? What's the guy? My favorite guy, Kareem Hunt. There we go.
All right, I need 1 second. How long do we have until lock?
We got 15 minutes. We're cutting it close, but we've got a little bit of time here. So let's help the rest of our guys out here with a nice Kareem Hunt build. Like I said, this is a punt. We need a ceiling performance, or at least like a above average performance from Kareem Hunt.
So who do you want if we're doing this? We want Big Ben.
Chaz in Ohio. Chris is in New York. What's up? SoCal, Riverside. Hell yeah, you're right down the street. So we got to do both quarterbacks. I want to do one without Chubb, but I want to do one with Chubb.
Okay, let's start.
So let's go. Let's do this. I want to do a 2-4, right? I want to do a Kareem Hunt in the captain, Baker Mayfield in the flex, and I want to go 3 wide receivers for the Steelers. Can we get to James Washington? Look at that.
Yes. Yeah, no, bro. I already had this built for you. We're good. I know what you're asking for.
Yeah, I'm entering this. Let's do A-Town is South Georgia. I guess that makes sense. A-Town down. Durham, North Carolina. Brandon, what's up, man? Got everybody from all around the country. Pretty awesome. Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, this is just Baker Mayfield. I just X'd him out because you said you wanted to run more.
Oh, Gage, you're saying that you just entered. Wait, what do you really? So you won 8K, confirming that, Gage. Because if you did, congratulations, man. That's amazing. What are you looking at, bro?
Me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. What the fuck is going on here?
I don't know, bro. Okay, so we got Kareem Hunt, captain. We got Big Ben. We got Deontay, Juju, and James Washington.
Okay.
Did you enter this already?
No, yes, I'm entering it now. Yep.
Okay. Can I switch off of it now?
Yes, you can.
All right, cool. So you wanted to come off of fucking Baker for this. So honestly, wait, let me put him back.
Nick Chubb.
Yeah, just Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb instead of Baker. Oh, that sucks. So instead of Deontay, go. Yeah.
What's this?
All right.
Bro, trust me on this one.
Ooh, son of a bitch. All right. Damn it, you're going to make me fucking enter. Oh, God.
Bro.
Let me take a photo of this. This is sexy. This is why I chose Kareem Hunt. I know it's a risk, but like these lineups I'm super comfortable with. I don't have to worry about random dudes like Harrison Bryant scoring 2 touchdowns. I just need Kareem Hunt to do okay, and the rest of these guys have an opportunity.
Coming from the guy who just fucking and by the way, this dude texted me. He says straight up, I'm pretty sure Deontay Harris is a lock for tonight, and couldn't stand by the conviction. 100%, man. He's in the optimal. He's in the fucking optimal.
Let's see. Chris, I have this last lineup to build and trying to be different because I tend to create all the same lineups. Think of it from a roster construction thing, playing 2 running backs in the same lineup, playing three wide receivers, that kind of thing. Like you just saw us build a Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt lineup. Yes, probability is that they both don't go off, but you're going to be different, and you still have some high upside. Truly was a girl beer. It's not a girl beer. It's actually a girl seltzer, and I fucking love it.
Yeah, bro, I don't give a shit, man. I'll drink fucking margaritas with the umbrellas on them. Will it get me fucked up quickly?
Yeah,
let's
exactly.
do it. All right, hey, Chris.
Go ahead.
What lineup are you trying to build? How many entrants are you dealing with? Is it like 1,000, 20,000? And then we can get maybe if we can get an update from him, we can help him build a lineup. See who he wants a captain. Who do you want to build with right now? I want to build with Deontay Johnson. Actually.
Yeah, let's go Deontay.
All right. Let's do this.
Chris said the lotto. I'm assuming he means like the big ass contest.
What does this give us? 4,900. 4,900.
Malcolm, captain for big GPP. Ellie, what's your favorite big GPP captain?
Deontay Johnson.
Yeah. For me, it's one of the wide receivers. Choose your favorite. One of the Pittsburgh wide receivers. But dude, to be honest, I love Kareem Hunt at captain. I know there's a big opportunity, Malcolm, that he doesn't go off.
But check this lineup out, dude.
So good. Okay.
Check this shit out. Deontay Johnson, captain. Big Ben, Baker, Jarvis Landry, James Washington, Austin Hooper.
I love that.
Cooper's coming in at 22%. What's Landry at? I have 40%. These guys are low enough owned. I'm not. James, what's Washington? 10%? Like, I don't know, bro. I like this lineup. I like Deontay Johnson wasn't too difficult to build with at this price.
Yeah. I think Deontay is probably your favorite wide receiver captain, right?
Yes. No, he's my favorite captain. And then Eric
Ebron. But overall, you're gonna get more, a lot more Deontay than you would Eric Ebron because of the ownership, correct? And the probability of him being the optimal captain is much higher.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
So let's do any other lineups you guys want to see. Robert just moved from LA to Atlanta. That's awesome, man. We're at in LA. Were you? So let's build one with Baker at captain, just to, or you can do Jarvis, whichever one you want.
Let's see.
We got 10 minutes left.
10 minutes. Yeah, we don't have to rush now.
I'm gonna just, while you're doing that, I need to enter this Kareem Hunt lineup because that was fucking nice. Deontay and fading Baker on that one. Claypool, James Washington. Yeah, that's nice.
All right, we got Baker. If we're starting him, let's go Landry. Oh, shit. My bad.
So Ferris is asking most safe lineup for head-to-head with either Ben at captain or Johnson. So
okay. 1 second, and we'll build that.
We'll get that in 1 second.
You just fucking lock him in the captain and run the optimal.
Yeah.
Let
me do it on my end then. Let me refresh. We'll get you that probably. We'll just get you the optimal. If you're going head to head with Big Ben at the captain, just go with the optimal most likely, which I'm going to give for you right now. So
here's a Baker Mayfield captain. You got Baker, Jarvis Landry, Harrison Bryant. For Cleveland, on the other side, you got Ben Roethlisberger, Deontay Johnson, and Eric Ebron. Look, I fucking like that lineup too. And shit.
So Ellie, build this lineup real quick. Actually, just build. Yeah, this is a nice lineup. I think this is another good potential cash option. Don't you think, with Baker and the captain? It's not as high upside, and it's more high upside, but the floor is probably a lot lower. So yeah, so this is the Benny Snell. I don't know that I like Benny Snell. Can you want to pivot off of that? Like, build a cash lineup for everybody, or a head-to-head lineup here. The safest possible lineup that we can build.
All right. So, honestly, I think the more important thing is to look at the percent ownership as opposed to point projections.
Yeah.
This is what you're doing. Is you're literally just playing against a bunch of other people who are locking people in. So let's see what happens here if I optimize. See, this I can get behind. If I want to play Benny Snell, got Nick Chubb, Mayfield, Deontay Johnson, Chris Boswell. I don't, maybe not. Let's see what else we can get here.
So M Daddy, look, my favorite crazy GPP lineup is the one I just entered. I'm ready to just write it off and say, yep, and then it's probably not going to hit. But that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about a lotto pick. Kareem Hunt at captain, Nick Chubb, Claypool, Deontay Johnson, Ben Roethlisberger with James Washington. That's the lineup that I like. I entered it into a $15 contest. So let's see. We got some chat here. One crazy GPP lineup. That was, to me, that's a crazy GPP lineup, but also that Deontay Johnson lineup that he just built is a good one too.
I like this for cash, actually.
Ferris, that the head-to-head is probably this one, right? This lineup that you're building, this is a good head-to-head lineup, don't you think?
Yeah, this is fine head-to-head. If you're uncomfortable with James Washington, Benny Snell is fine. He should. I mean, he does have probably a slightly safer floor.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to get, what do you think, 5-6 carries, maybe 2 or 3 receptions, sort of a thing. His upside's very low, but you're looking for a relatively high floor with him.
Yeah, I'm actually going to submit this one.
We got 6 minutes.
I don't have much. I don't have much Juju, and I don't have much Snell. I literally have 0 Snell. So
hey, Ellie, show us that Deontay Johnson lineup again. That one that we just built. that you entered. I want to see that one again. I think that the audience wants to see that again too. Let's see. For head-to-head, should I just put Johnson or Ben at captain? Ben.
Yeah, just go with chalk. You want to be as chalky as possible.
Yeah, absolutely, Ferris. Ben at captain, and try to work in the highest owned players. And I think we all know who those players are. If you don't like Chubb, all good. You can go down to just get a couple of wide receivers for Big Ben. You probably want to pair one or two in cash. You don't have to get crazy with 3 wide receivers because that's a little bit too much of a tournament play.
Or was it? Did this one with Deontay have Bryant? I thought it did, right?
I think so.
Who else did I have? I had Jarvis Landry. That's right.
We got 5 minutes, I believe, left, guys. Hit us up if you've got any other questions. Also, stick with us until after lock. We're going to look at ownership for a few minutes, and then we'll send it out. This is our 6th show of the weekend. I feel like we've done a pretty good job overall this weekend. Some things didn't work out. That Seattle game didn't work out for us. But throw us a like if you guys don't mind. We really appreciate that. It helps us out. Chaz, the Browns are getting steamed again. I'm worried there's something we don't know. Makes no sense. What do you mean steamed? Are they pissed off about something?
Wait, what's going on?
Just Chaz is mentioning possibly the Browns are maybe a little heated about something. I'm not exactly sure.
Oh, no, dude. You see, he's talking to me. You're the guy who's not impacted by the narratives. I'm all for it. That's why I'm not playing Juju Smith-Schuster. I think the Browns are going to come out and play with the chip on their shoulder. Yeah, I think that's what he's calling out.
Oh, he said at the Sharp Books, betting steam.
Oh, never mind then. Yeah.
So Malcolm, the hunt lineup. Are you looking for a hunt lineup? Let's do another hunt lineup before. I feel like I really like that. I feel like I love being able to get 2 or 3 of the wide receivers with Big Ben, and then have Baker or Chubb.
Okay, so let's go Big Ben. Let's go. Well, hold on. Let's go Baker. Do you want Chubb or Deontay Johnson?
Let's go Deontay. Okay. Give me,
dude. I don't know.
If this is a large field tournament, I'm okay with going to a 2-4 with 4 Steelers. Ferris is asking Higgins or Hooper. Ellie, Higgins.
Yeah, probably. I think they're pretty even.
They're pretty even. Higgins has a higher upside, I think. Although Hooper does have some crazy multi-touchdown games. They're very close. It's sort of a gut thing in my opinion. It depends on the if you're going in cash.
The same lineup twice and playbook.
Are you Ferris? You going cash? If that's the case, would you say Higgins? Higgins has more. Hooper. Okay, copy that. Hooper for cash. We got 2 minutes, guys. This is a pretty safe hunt lineup in my opinion. I really like this lineup.
Who do you guys want to build with?
We got 2 minutes. You want to go some crazy ass fucking lineup? You want to go? I don't know. Steelers defense? I don't know. What do you want to do?
I got one.
Cody Parkey. What do you got here? James Washington? Big Ben, Nick Chubb. Fuck Chubb. Kareem Hunt. It's hard to avoid Hunt at that price, man. Especially if we think they're going to be down in this game.
Oh, what?
Ooh.
How did this work out?
Ooh. I like that one too.
This is obviously crazy as fuck.
So James Washington in the captain with Big Ben, Kareem Hunt, Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, and Deontay Johnson. Not bad. You gonna answer that one?
No, man. I'm already like I went a little bit larger on NBA than I anticipated. Yes, I have it playing NBA in the background. I'm in the middle of these fucking slates. So like I'm not. I need to be more disciplined in general. So
I know, dude. I know.
I can't keep fucking betting like this. But I do have a shitload of lineups going for this game.
Yeah, this is a crazy ass lineup, but I kind of like it.
Yeah.
You know, this is crazy.
All right. Well, I mean,
All right, so we're at lock, guys.
We
We've
bullshit long enough.
Yeah, we've officially hit lock. Hashtag Sunday Confessions, one line and three single entry GPPs, and I faded Chubb, all or nothing. Hey, look, I don't hate the fading Chubb. I'm not comfortable doing it myself, but I totally get it. It could work out for you. In fact, I probably think it will.
And single entry is so close to cash anyways. I don't think it's a bad option, right? Nick Chubb, yeah, he's going to have a decent projection. But again, like playoffs are so important when it comes to game script. There's if we really think that Vegas is even close to right, there's a good chance that Chubb's going to be game scripted out and we're going to see more hunt. So I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Hey, Chris, good luck, man. Thank you for tuning in. Good luck on that lineup with Big Ben, 3 pass catchers, Baker and Njoku. So let's look at ownership, bro. You want to pull it up?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let me let's switch back to non-inception mode. There we go.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see if we're past the weird point here. Yeah, Chaz, I actually really like that. And look, Ellie went down the same road, right? You kind of ended up with not a lot of Nick Chubb, correct?
Yeah, I actually have 0 Nick Chubb.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
8 down, Deontay Johnson, Claypool, Washington, Big Ben, Mayfield, Higgins. Is that Deontay and captain?
That's a fucking sexy lineup, dude. I love that shit.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. I'm pretty sure I have that lineup in there too. I don't want to duplicate, but if I got to duplicate with anybody, bro, I'd rather it be with you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Look, let's all duplicate together. Fuck it, why not? Kareem Hunt. Let's see. Andrew, in the 3-game slate, I really need Connor to go off, and in my show, that's how you play it, man. That's how you play it. It's a great idea.
Dude, if you're gonna lose, break even.
Chaz, OMG, what the hell did I just miss? Touchdown Browns. We're live, and there's a touchdown 2 minutes in. This is why I love NFL. What happened? What am I missing here?
Bro, Chaz, I swear to God, you're fucking ahead of me. Like,
yeah,
you're saying shit, and I'm like,
Ferris, my opponent for head-to-head, the difference is that I have Juju and Hooper. He has Landry and Higgins. I like Juju and Hooper better. Actually, what do you think, Ellie? I mean, for cash, having 2 wide receivers, defensive touchdown.
Well, I guess
already
you got that right. Yeah, was this a fucking Peyton Manning situation in Seattle? Like, oh yeah, holy shit! What is this? Cam Newton.
What happened
against Denver?
Really?
Yeah, fucking just snapped the shit over his head.
Oh,
God damn it!
Hey Ellie, answer this question for Ferris here. Do you think that do you like the Juju Hooper for head to head over Landry Higgins? I personally do, because you're not so correlated. You're not so tight there.
Yeah, you're not negatively correlated at all. He is negatively correlated. He's taking opportunities away from the other wide receiver. This is if you want, Hooper can get every possession for every fucking touch.
Exactly.
He doesn't have to compete with anybody.
Well, this is why NFL is interesting. NBA, look, fucking NBA, it'd be another 40 minutes after lock before we see the tip off. We already got a touchdown on the board, 2 minutes into it.
Dude, imagine if NBA added defense. Dude, fucking, I'm gonna play Portland defense, a captain tonight against fucking Golden State.
Yeah. Hey, good luck, guys. Ellie, now that we already know we're cheating here, are the Browns gonna get a touchdown today? Yes, I'm putting all my money on that.
Bro, we didn't even cover ownership.
I know. I mean, we kind of did. We kind of got into it.
You guys can see it in your lineups too.
So Malcolm, we're gonna try to be back for tomorrow NBA show. Ellie, you down for that? Little NBA showdown tomorrow night potentially?
Hell fucking yeah. I mean, what's the late game tonight? Yeah, no. We'll wait till tomorrow.
Dude, 6 shows this weekend. We put out over I think 7 to 8 hours of content. We really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys are going to win some money. If you guys appreciate us, throw us a like. We're doing this because we love it, and we want to build up a following. So please give us a like and a follow. We really appreciate that. Ellie, What's your prediction here? What's your prediction?
My prediction is I'm going to continue to get fucking drunk and not deal with this shit anymore. I might go play some video games. But no, dude, Browns win this, and I think they win it by 5 points.
My birthday's in a few hours, so I'm about to maybe go get some more Truly, I think. That's probably what I'm going to do.
Do it, dude.
Robert, Culver City. I'm actually in Glendale area. Pretty nice over here. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Holly, great show. Thank you. We appreciate it. We're going to see you next time. Let us know how you guys do. Like, for real. Hit us up on Twitter. We have a Discord for free. If you guys just want to join it, it's no effort. We can just hang out there. We can talk, shoot the shit. Also, Ellie can, share his NBA insight, as well as we can show our actual exposure to all these lineups that we have for Showdown. So anyways, thank you guys. We'll see you next time, and take it easy. Good luck.